It is officially race day. Let's go. Husband score our sourdough loaf last night. I made one loaf last night and then I'm making one this morning. And he's so cute. He made like a mountainscape with trees and like the sun, and just thought it was cute. But about to cut into that because my kids always want sourdough toast in the mornings. And so do I. Your sourdough's at the bar. No, Moose. Capri, your sourdough's at the bar.
Yeah, okay. You're back. Moose. Can Moose say hi to the camera? Can Moose say hi to the camera? Yeah. Moose, say hi to the camera. No.
So, have my t-shirt on from last year's race. Getting hot. Yeah, exciting day. I'm so excited.
Mom, what place do you think you're gonna get in the women's zone?
What place do you think I'm gonna get? Do I think I'm gonna get in the race? I have no idea.
To racing! We're actually going to race. Happy race day!
Thank you.
You gotta drop me stuff.
Moose, I know. Oh, I broke my yolk. Perfect pre-race breakfast. My race isn't until 1 o'clock today, so it's kind of a weird time for a race. It's a Sunday, so the plan is gonna eat good breakfast, big breakfast, and then we are gonna go to church this morning, come home, I'll probably have another little snack or something. And then my friend who's running the race with me, she and her family are coming over so she and I can ride to the trail together where the race is gonna be. And then our other friend's gonna meet us there as well. So that's the plan for today. And then after the race, the husbands are gonna meet us there with the kids, obviously, to see us finish the race. And then the husbands are going to go mountain biking at the trail. And then we'll come back to our house with the kids, let them play. And then we're gonna eat dinner over here with them and stuff. So should be a fun, super fun day. I'm getting my protein, getting my carbs with my sourdough. Be good to go. Does anybody else not know how to sit down while they eat their food? I always stand in the kitchen and eat my food. Always. I very rarely sit down to eat, I've noticed. Ready?
These shoes are the wrong way, so
No, you need to go get your brown boots on. Okay? You can't wear those. Those are sandals.
these.
It's too cold for sandals. Trying to get everybody out the door for church right now. But I'm ready. Got your sunnies.
Yeah.
Looking nice for church today. This way, baby.
Oh, yeah. We got it.
Made it home from church. Now it is a mad scramble to get ready for the race. I'm gonna go get changed and I will see you guys in just a little bit. Little editing trick for you. You guys thought I just snapped my fingers and got ready, didn't you? Gotcha. In the car, about to head that way. My friend just got here, so we are headed to the trail. See you there.
This year than last year, so that's great. Officially about 165, 170.
No time for subtlety, just time for you and me. No time for modesty, no, you never seen anyone quite like me. Hey, yeah, with me you'll light up like the sun, sparkle like diamonds, gonna have some fun. Hey, yeah, we're gonna start this party right, gonna move our bodies, dance all through the night.
Finished the race. Did not do as well as I wanted to. I will fill you guys in on all the details, but for right now, we have our friends over, and the kids are gonna be playing, and it's gonna be kind of crazy. So I will sit down and tell you all about the race later. But for now, we're just gonna hang out, have a fun night, and I will talk to you guys later. But I did it. Not in third place like I had wanted, but I finished. All right. It is now a few days later after the race. It is Wednesday. The race was on Sunday. And I really wanted to sit down like the next day and unpack everything that happened at the race, how it went, how I feel about it. while it was still fresh. But Monday was President's Day, which means both kids were home from school. And if you're a mom of little kids, you know that it is nearly impossible to do something uninterrupted, especially like filming something with needing complete silence in the background. That's nearly impossible when you have the kids home from school. So it is now Wednesday. Both kids are in school, so I'm finally getting the chance to sit down and chat with you guys and tell you all about the race. So let's just jump right into it. If you saw that last clip, basically, you know, the race did not go as I wanted it to. I was really gunning for the podium this year. I really wanted at least third place. And if you've been following my channel for a while now, you know the reason for that. So I ran the same race last year for the first time, and they ended up actually calling me up as third place female, which I was very confused by, surprised by. I didn't think it was right, but I went up, got my picture with the first and second place female, and I was pretty stoked. I'm like, sweet, you know, I did way better than I thought I was going to. And then come to find out, right after they took the picture of the top three, they realized they made a mistake and I was either like fourth or fifth place female. And that just lit a fire under me. I'm like, okay, I am coming back next year and I am coming for third place, like a legitimate third place this time. So that's what I really wanted out of this race. I wanted to be on the podium, and that just did not happen. I was still in the top 10, which I am proud of. I am proud of the fact that I feel like I gave it everything I had. But ultimately, more people signed up this year than last year. Faster girls were signed up. The first place female this year actually broke the course record, so hats off to her. That's freaking awesome. But yeah, didn't go as I had wanted to, but it is what it is. And I don't want to make excuses for that. I just wasn't fast enough. But there were several things, I guess, that happened leading up to this race, from the time I raced it last year to this year, that ultimately played a part in how I did in this race this year. One of those things being that I finished my cancer treatment. And if you watch that video where I, you know, showed that conversation with my oncologist and we talked about stopping treatment, you kind of know that it was completely out of left field. I wasn't planning on stopping cancer treatment this year, but I did, and I was so excited about it. It shifted my goals. It made me realize, oh, like if I don't have side effects from my cancer treatment, I want to try to run farther. So that led to me signing up for a half marathon, which meant my training was more focused on longer distances and not as much about my pace. This race was a shorter distance. It's a 6K, so it's like, you know, just under 4 miles. I think it was like 3.6 something miles. So it's a shorter distance, which means you got to be faster. And I'm not a fast runner. I'm not. I have come a long way with my running, but I am not fast in the grand scheme of things, and especially in the shorter distances. Another thing that affected my training for this race was we had the flu about a month before the race, and it took me a long time to fully recover. I got really bad bronchitis from the flu, so you know, obviously that affected my breathing with my running, and it took a few weeks before I really felt like my breathing was kind of back to normal. So yeah, that definitely played a part in my training, but again, I am not making excuses. That's just stating the facts. This is what happened. But I will say this. I compared on Strava, which if you're unfamiliar, it's an app where you can track your training, your runs, your bike ride, whatever it is that you do. So I was comparing on Strava this race to last year's race, and I have gotten faster. And I also noticed, and I thought this was so interesting, that my heart rate, my average heart rate in this year's race compared to last year's was significantly lower. That just shows that I have gotten stronger, I've gotten fitter. It shows progress, and you know, you have to focus on your own race, not just in running, but in life. You know, like, you cannot focus on the people that are ahead of you. You can only focus on what you can control and on your progress. Focus on your goals. That's all you can do. You can't control what other people do. There's always going to be somebody ahead of you, but all you can do is focus on your race. With that said, I will say the hardest part about this race was about halfway through. I just felt super defeated, because for a split second, I did allow myself to focus on the negative, which is always going to make things harder. Rather than focusing on my performance in that moment, I was focused on, man, there's at least like 7 girls ahead of me right now, and I wanted to be 3rd place. And they were nowhere in sight. Like, I was left in the dust. And yeah, I started thinking like, man, that 1st place girl is probably already at the finish line, and I'm like at the halfway mark. You know, like, I started letting those negative, like, comparison traps sink in. And it made it so much harder to keep going, because in that moment when I'm focused on, man, I'm not where I wanted to be in this race, it makes you want to give up altogether. And I think that's something that is, you know, natural in life, not just in running. You know, when we start seeing a goal that we had for ourselves slip away. There are times in life where you set a goal for yourself and it gets taken away from you. That door gets closed for whatever reason, and you realize that goal isn't attainable anymore, and it makes you want to just give up altogether. When that happens, it's time to shift our mindset and shift our goals so that we keep pushing ourselves to do the best that we can do. It doesn't matter what their best is or that person's best is. What is your best at that moment? Shift our mindset, shift our goals, give ourselves a new goal. And in this race, that's exactly what I had to do. I had to come up with a new goal for myself in order to make myself keep pushing and keep going at my best. So what happened halfway through this race, when I'm feeling super negative and comparing myself and all the things, this girl, yet another girl, passes me. Rather than letting that bring me further down and make me even more frustrated, it lit a fire under me. I was like, okay, new goal is to not let that girl get too far ahead. I am not going to let her leave me in her dust. I am going to push myself, and I had to push to keep up with this chick, okay? I am not going to let her get ahead of me. And basically what happened, I stayed on her tail the rest of the race. Anytime she started pulling away, I caught right back up to her, and I would push myself to keep up with her. And at the very end of the race, the way it's laid out, the finish line is on a road. So you're on the trail and until the very, very end. And the very last part of the trail is one last steep hill. And I actually end up passing her on this hill, which I was like super psyched about. I'm like, not only did I not let her leave me in her dust, but I just passed her. But then once we got onto the road, my legs were done, and it got really hard to shift from that trail terrain to the hard pavement, and she then passed me again. So we were going back and forth. I passed her, she passed me, and she got a pretty good distance away from me on the road before we finished. But if you watch that last clip of me crossing the finish line, I caught up to her heels. I didn't pass her, but I sprinted to catch up to her. And you can't see this in that clip. She thought she had left me far enough behind that she was kind of like, you know, she was good. And then when she saw me coming up on her heels, she had to kick it into high gear to stay ahead of me. So I was proud of that. And I loved crossing the finish line. She and I like gave each other a high five, because ultimately, like, she and I, like, we pushed each other, and that is what it's all about. You know, it's like, if you can find those people that push you and encourage you, because another cool thing about her, and just really most trail runners in general, they are encouraging you. They are not, you know, they're not being rude. Most of the time when people pass each other, they're like, keep going, like, you got this, like, good job, you know? And that's exactly what she did. When she passed me right before, or like right after we got off the trail, she was like, come on, girl, let's go. You, like, we got this, keep going. And so she pushed me, I pushed her, and that's what it's all about. It was a great experience, a lot to take away from this. You know, it was a humbling experience, and ultimately I'm just super grateful for it. With however many health issues that I've had, it just really puts into perspective, you know, how incredibly blessed we are to choose a hardship such as running in a race. And, you know, when you get to choose that hardship rather than being thrown into a hardship that you didn't choose, such as cancer, man, that's a really cool feeling, a really empowering feeling. And yeah, I will never take my ability to run and move my body, I will never take that for granted because of everything my body has been through. So anyways, I will bring you guys along as I continue my running journey and everything else that this life has to offer. I've got a lot of things coming up that I can't wait to bring you guys along for. And yeah, I'm just gonna end this video here. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss when I post a new video, and I will see you guys in the next one.